How y'all doing?
So I am gonna start this video out by saying if you see me looking over to the side and it's a little distracting, I apologize, but I am gonna be reading loosely from a little script slash outline that I have prepared for this.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I want to preface this reaction or review, whatever you want to call it, by saying that I am a huge Resident Evil fan, at least of the games and some of the films, I have to admit. But I by no means identify myself as a Resi expert. I don't know all the ins and outs and the detailed complexities of the lore. I know basically the main storylines through the main, like, 1 through 9 games.
Fucking shut up! Thank you.
And that's about it. Just, I'm not an expert, so let's keep that in mind. Thank you for being here, and welcome if you're new here, which I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, probably are. On this channel, sometimes you might see reactions, probably less so due to the intense copyright strikes that keep happening on YouTube. I'm also going to be diving into reviews and reactions to new films coming out, classic films that I love, and just media in general, maybe even music here and there, video games. Who knows? I always have a lot to say about media, so I figured why not put it out there for you all to listen to, chime in, and we can start a discussion and build a little community together.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
So let's get into this review of the new Resident Evil teaser trailer. I'm gonna break this up into sections with positives, and then the mixed, and then the negative feelings that I have after watching the teaser. I want to say that the atmosphere starts out great. I love the soft snowfall and the contrast of lighting between the warm cottage on the hill and the cold, dark atmosphere of the wilderness in the winter. There are some RE4/RE Village vibes here, and with the first aid pack and the revolver in the lead character's hand, I think that was a nice little touch. And I know he's played by Austin Abrams, who played James in Weapons. While I have some mixed feelings about that film, his performance was fantastic, so I'm not necessarily worried about his acting in this film. The textual overlays in the trailer look very cool. It's also kind of comforting to hear the classic landline sounds coming from the phone that's attached to the wall, but also it's a bit unsettling. That out-of-service sound effect used to terrify me as a child, so that was a nice touch as well. I feel like it's something you would see a lot more in vintage horror movie trailers, but also Resident Evil, it started in the late 90s, so it would make sense for landlines to be more prominent in the film if that were the case here as well. And I also think that the sound design seems solid, which is crucial for Resident Evil in my opinion, because the games are not only bathed in a heavy atmosphere, but the score and the sound design are top notch, at least with most of the games.
That's really shit.
I'm disappointed.
That's really shit.
I'm curious to know what the hell that creature is that we see lurking in the sewers when Abrams' character goes down there. I'm seeing some people saying that it could be the Duke or maybe even a regenerator, but I'm not entirely sure how either of those would make sense in the story, at least at face value, but I guess we'll find out. For the mixed aspects, the multiple body parts flinging themselves out of the front door of the farmhouse was a little odd to me. That scene kind of gave more of The Grudge or Silent Hill vibes, in my opinion. It also kind of reminded me of RE Requiem a little bit, with the giant lady that chases you through the hospital, though I doubt they'll be adapting anything from that game since it's so new. It also seems like there's a lot of running. Don't get me wrong, I love a good chase scene, but Resident Evil games are mostly about suspense and slow build-ups, at least until you get to the boss fights. Now, yes, some of the later games do become more action-heavy, but at its core, Resi is about the slow burn. I really hope they aren't giving us like Dawn of the Dead style zombies. I want the slow, groaning, dread-filled undead that we see in the first 3 games, and even the newer game Requiem. Now for the negatives. I'm not a fan of the wording used in the teaser, new era. I think it's been a little overused in recent years, but also It's clearly telling us that this is another new filmmaker making his mark and creating his vision of what a Resident Evil should be. This teaser trailer doesn't scream made for fans by fans, in my opinion. That aspect is just a little disappointing. We get a glimpse of the undead, but in the shot that they show, it's honestly just looking like normal people with some ketchup on their faces. If you look at the Paul W.S. Anderson films, as divisive as they are, one thing I think we can all agree on is that the zombies in those films are top tier. Now, the looks of the undead vary between those films as well, but all of the designs are solid, and the practical effects look amazing, especially for the times that those films were made. The same goes for the games. In my opinion, no one does zombies like Resident Evil. Even the PS1 zombies are still creepy, with the minuscule details of veins popping out on their faces, the rotting flesh, and even discoloration. The remakes of these classic games further solidify this point. So I would hope that if these filmmakers are truly fans, as most of them are claiming to be, they would put the necessary time and effort into the creature design. I'm sure most of you have seen Welcome to Raccoon City, and while that is the closest we've gotten to a true adaptation of the Resi video games, that movie is riddled with problems. One of the most glaring issues is the creature design and practical effects, or lack thereof. That film obviously had a low budget, so some of the CGI was a bit wonky, but I can forgive that. What I can't forgive were those awful prosthetics on the zombies. It's a decent teaser for the mainstream, but as a longtime fan of the video game franchise, I'm left feeling a little concerned. We have seen other filmmakers in recent years take big risks in creating original plot lines, new characters, sidelining fan favorite characters, and altering Resi's base lore. I realize we're nitpicking a fictional work of art, but that's exactly the point of art. To be created, consumed, enjoyed, not enjoyed, shared with others, but also to be criticized. I just want these creators, these artists, if you will, to care as much about the source material as the fans do. They can try to push the narrative that they're diehards who grew up with the games. They can try to push that all they want to, but at the end of the day, the proof is in the zombie pudding. We will circle back when the full trailer drops, and we'll make some final theories and assumptions then. But in the meantime, let me know your thoughts on the teaser and the new direction that Zach Cregger is taking for Resident Evil. Do you think we're going to leave the theater feeling itchy tasty or like a Jill sandwich?
Yo, it's not funny.
Let's have a discussion down in the comments. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Right now, this is my only platform, so please make sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe so you can stay notified when I upload videos, and comment your thoughts down below.
No.
I'll see you guys in the next one.